Thanks for joining us, everyone. He was sworn to protect and serve. Now, a former Saltillo officer faces the possibility of serving time after being indicted on criminal charges.
This afternoon, we learned more about the multi-agency investigation that led to the indictment. Our Jory Talley joins us live from Tupelo with the latest on it.
A Lee County grand jury indicted 31-year-old Scotty Bradley on 2 counts of auto burglary. Investigators say this case shows that no one is above the law, even those sworn to protect and serve. Lee County deputies started their investigation after several pieces of equipment and property were reported missing in Guntown, including a radar gun. Then, another radar gun appeared in its place. Eventually, investigators say they linked an online auction account back to former Guntown and Saltillo officer Scotty Bradley. Sheriff Jim Johnson believes the crime was committed while Bradley wore the badge.
Once that arrived in his hands, he broke into a patrol car while on duty at Saltillo into a Guntown vehicle and swapped the 2 devices, took the city equipment out and replaced it with the personal equipment he purchased on eBay.
Investigators do not know why Bradley traded out the 2 radars.
We'll be able to link the account on eBay to Mr. Bradley. There was also some altering of serial numbers and removal of serial numbers to try to disguise the fake piece of property to the real piece.
Bradley was released from the Guntown Police Department and then went to work for Saltillo PD. Johnson says he worked there for less than a year. The sheriff says this case shows the law applies to everyone.
I would hope that people understand that, number one, we certainly don't set a precedent here at the Sheriff's Department that anyone is above the law regardless of who they are. No one person is more important than another. However, we are held to a higher standard when it comes to law enforcement and protecting and most of all setting the example of integrity.
This case was a secret indictment, which is why there is no mugshot of Bradley. The grand jury returned the indictment last month.
Mr. Bradley contacted his attorney upon knowing that this investigation had taken place, and shortly after that his attorney started following the case. And his attorney found out about the indictment prior to us and took him before a judge on an arraignment, and that's where his bond was set.
The city of Saltillo says Bradley is no longer employed by the city. He was arraigned last week in Lee County Circuit Court and is out of jail on a $10,000 bond. Reporting live in Lee County, Jory Talley, WCBI News.